friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Melissa. So you guys, my vacation birthday trip is over. Today is June 2nd. I just got back into town today, and I need to go and make sure my budget is on point. I actually don't know what's happening with it because I didn't look at my budget for about 5 to 6 days. So it's all out of whack. I have a whole bunch of transactions to approve, and I also need to reset Ynab into the month of June. So as you can see on the screen, you're still seeing the month of May. I need to do a monthly reset. So let's just jump right on in. So all right, we're going to start out with each account, and we're going to go through and just approve all of the transactions that were order imported, because my accounts are linked, and whatever aren't linked, I will go in and enter those manually and reconcile the accounts. So first up is my primary account. I could see here that the payment to my Apple Card, this was a payment that I made because I used my Apple Card to pay my internet bill for $123. That's approved. I used it to pay my cell phone bill to $90.11. I sent support over to my daughter for $263. I got some interest into this account, 18 cents. So it's not credit card interest. It's actually money that needs to go into ready to assign. And I paid $100 to my Apple Card. So approve that. Let's reconcile. Is my balance $483.10? Yes. The day before I left, or the day of leaving, hubby said that he transferred $500 into our joint bills account for me to have spending money in Jamaica. Yes, you heard me right. He transferred $500 over, and he said that was my birthday spending money. He didn't know I was saving a little bit money for myself, but this $500 is going to come to good use. I did not use this. I actually didn't pull out this money in cash. So I am going to just go ahead and approve this. This was sent into the bills account. What I did right away, I transferred that money over to the Simmer account. This is where everything is going to sit and wait until I need to assign it into different categories or put it into a different account. So I transferred it over. I did get interest into my bills account also for 12 cents. I am going to put that into ready to assign. It's not credit card interest. So I paid the babysitter on the 31st, which was last Friday, for $220. That is cleared. So next up, the wallet. What I did was on the 28th, I did a transfer from my personal account into my wallet. So I pulled out $300. I spent $10 out of this money went to the tip for my pedicure. I did get a pedicure done on the 28th. I paid him a $10 tip out of that money. So I was left with $291.42 because I had $1.42 in the wallet. So now I'm going to add the transaction, and I'm going to date it I'm not going to date it for June, even though my trip got done in June. I'm going to date it for the end of May because I want this money to be settled out for the month of May. So I'm going to call it birthday trip. So for birthday trip, I'm going to put it as personal spending and 2024 birthday. That's what I'm going to call this one in the memo. So I need to do some math. I came home with $29.50 in cash. So $260.50 was spent on my vacation. That's that. So let's reconcile. $30.92. Yes. In the Simmer account, I did transfer $500. That's the money that hubby sent. Let's clear that. And we can reconcile. There's $1,937.74 in that account. Yes, it is. In my Chase account, I did make some purchases. So when I closed out my paycheck in May, that was closed out on the 23rd because I did get paid on the 24th. I did go through these transactions. So I did buy light bulbs at Lowe's, Fisher online store. I bought some stuff for hubby and I took my son out to breakfast. So we had a mommy son date for $60. I already spoke about that. I went ahead and paid those back. Next up here is Spirit Air. and it's unexpected spending for the kids' vacation tickets. So I did mention that my in-laws were in town around Memorial Day. Well, they want to have the kids for 2 weeks in the summer. Right as my son gets out of school, they're going to go spend 2 weeks in Miami with their grandparents. And not only that, hubby and I have been talking about it, and we did decide right after that after they get done with their vacation, they're going to come home for about a week, and then they're going to go spend 6 weeks in Jamaica with other family members. So my sisters are there, and hubby is also Jamaican, so his family members are there too. So the kids are going to spend some time with cousins, aunts, and other relatives in Jamaica for the summer. That's going to free up time for hubby and I to hustle and hustle hard, because we incurred some costs that we weren't really planning on. We didn't plan all year for it because we didn't save for it. This money has been, these expenses has been charged to credit cards that we're going to have to work our butts off to pay back off. But our kids are going to have, fun summer, because they're going to spend time with their grandparents in Florida, and then they're going to go to Jamaica and spend additional time with family members. So Spirit Air on the 27th for $444.98. That's their ticket to go to Jamaica. They're going to go sometime in July. So that cleared. I did go to Angel Tips, which is a nail shop, and I spent $109 to get my pedicure. Now, this is ridiculous. I didn't know they were so expensive. So the place that I usually go to was far from home. I got this done the day before I went on vacation, and I was not going to have any other time to get my feet looking right. So I did go. I didn't plan to spend this much money. So $109 was the price of the pedicure. The $10 tip that you see that came from the wallet was cash that I gave them. But $109 was for the pedicure. It was completely ridiculous, but I really needed to get my feet right. There were some stuff that needed to be done. I'll put it that way. So that cleared. Then I went to TJ Maxx. So I told myself, you know what? It's my birthday. I need to go get myself a birthday outfit. I'm going to Jamaica. I need a new outfit. But Melissa walked out $276.55 later. And yes, I know I'm supposed to be on a debt-free journey, but I'm also on a journey to live. Okay? So I did spend this money on myself. I will have to work my ass off. Excuse me. I will have to work my butt off to pay this money back. And that cleared. So I can reconcile this because there is $830.53 on my Chase card. Yes. Next up is Marcus. Nothing has changed with Marcus. I did not charge anything else to this card. So $1,272.12 is my current balance. Now, Capital One number 2 card is the next one that's up. There is some things that happen. So there's 4 transactions to approve. So I did mention that the kids are going on vacation. Well, they have to travel with an adult. Because my little one is only 3, she cannot travel as an unaccompanied minor, especially since my son is only 9. So I do have to, hubby or myself, but hubby's going to be the one to travel with them. We did buy him plane tickets, and this money here is the travel insurance. So I'm just going to put it in there as travel insurance just in case anything happened. So that was for $33.37. I'm going to put that as unexpected spending. So a lot of this, I'm putting it as unexpected spending because we didn't plan for this, So I'm not putting it personal spending because we didn't plan for this at all. So next up is Barnes & Noble. When my in-laws were in town, we went out and we walked about. We took them a few different places. We ended up in a Barnes & Noble. I spent $108.39. I ended up buying the kids some books. I had all the kids, and we went into the store and they wanted some books. They're interested in reading, and that's a plus. So I spent $108.39. It wasn't supposed to be, but it happened. Not going to beat myself up over it. I'm going to put this in there as unexpected spending also. And I'm going to approve it. Next up is Harris Fuel Oil. This is heating oil that I had to get for 404.77. 404.77. That's cleared. And then JetBlue, this is where we bought hubby's tickets to travel with the kids. This is also going to be unexpected spending. So this is something that hubby and I have been talking about for a couple weeks now. We were thinking of not doing it, not sending the kids, but it's going to give us a chance to be able to hustle. And I'm hoping that, everything works out. So if they were here, the difference is we would have time to pay that money, but we would have to pay a fee for my son to go to camp, and I would have to pay the fee for the babysitter every week. So that's $220 in 2 weeks. This money, this will be paid back because $220 for the babysitter, that's going to be paid back. So $425.15 that I saved. No, I didn't save it. That I spent for plane tickets for hubby to travel with the kids. So now let's reconcile $2,716.34. That is what it is. That's on my Capital One number 2 card. On my Apple card, I did make the payment for my cell phone, from my account, and the $100. So the payments have gone through. So $486 was a payment that I made. $290.11 was the amount for my T-Mobile cell phone bill. $122.95 was the internet bill. $727 was SiriusXM, and these are the payments that I already spoke about. So let's go through. Is my balance on this credit card $1,816? It actually isn't. And why? Because there were a few transactions that has not been entered just yet. So on Thursday, the 30th, EasyPass took their replenishment because we were out and about with the family. So we actually used the toll, and because of that, they re-up or replenished the EasyPass. So I did make a payment on, I'm going to go into June because I did make a payment today from my primary account for $50. And even though I'm still in May, I'm just going in and entering all the transactions that is actually on this card. So today I also made a payment to PSE&G for my electric for $79.71. Okay. So the EasyPass already cleared. What am I missing? Nope, this $50 is an inflow, not an outflow. Okay. But it is not, my balance is not $1,870 because there's interest that was charged because the Apple card closed at the end of the month. So there was interest that went against the card. So my balance is $1,916.22. $45.37 in interest was charged. It was not on, I need to find it. Where did it go? Oh, create. Yes. It is not on the 2nd. I'm going to put it for the 31st because that's when the card closed. And I'm going to put it as interest into credit card interest. And I don't need the memo. Okay. So that is what my balance is right now. Next card up is Mattress Firm. Nothing has been done or changed to this. So the balance is $25.26 because all that happens on this card is the fact that I pay the minimum payment. There's no interest. So next up is Discover. My balance is actually $5,460.03. I have not charged anything to this card in addition to what was already on there, which was gas. And I did pay that back. So as you can see, it links with what they imported the balance was. So next up is my Capital One number 1 card. Interest was charged because the statement closed yesterday, $108.91 and also $223.45. So the last time I spoke about this, somebody asked me, why was there a cash advance interest? So I did take a cash advance, I think before I started this channel. And this is how bad it is because no, I did take cash advance a few months ago. I needed it and they're charging me interest for that. That's why there's two separate interests here. There's one for purchases and there's one for cash advance. So my balance is $14,097.50. So next up is Carter's. So my Carter's card I did use because I used this card to purchase some clothes for the kids. I need to just go in and check my balance. I will tell you because this was on the 28th of May. Okay, so the amount that I spent was $389.43. So save. This payment was already made, $199.20. This amount is cleared. I can reconcile. That is the balance on the card. There's no more there. So the account that holds my sinking funds gained some interest. It is going to be assigned to ready to assign $10.14. That has cleared. I can reconcile this transaction or reconcile this account. There we go. And there was also interest into the account that housed the emergency fund. I did move some money around, but we gained $14.31 in interest there. So let's reconcile $266.35. That is what is in the account right now. And let's move on. So everything else below, like the loans and the tracking stuff, I'm not going to mess with those right now. What I do need to do is to go in and clean up Ynab. So let's just do that. We're going to jump into the budget because everything has been, all the new transactions has been added. All I need to do now is to go in and cover what needs to be covered. So first up, there is $535.15 in ready to assign. There's one thing I need to do. I did set aside some money for vacation, $237.74. I am going to send this back to ready to assign. Boom. That's there. So now we have $772.89 to work with. Let's see what we could do with this money. First up, Capital One number one, I did pay $7.79. That was just the additional amount to cover the minimum payment. I'm going to automatically take this right out of ready to assign because that was money that was spent. Okay. The babysitter is another one that I did take the money out of the account. I did take it out of the money that hubby sent me to go on vacation, and I paid the babysitter $220. So now I'm only down to 8 overspent categories. All right, what can we do? Before I can look at that, there are some monies that I could send back to, I could send a few, $9.89 from the cell phone. I could send that back to ready to assign because I had budgeted $300 and I spent $290. The 5 cents from the internet, I'm going to send that back to ready to assign. The subscriptions, I'm not going to mess with. I'm going to roll that over. After school, I didn't drop a check off before I left for vacation. I will do that this coming week. $40 is still set aside for that. Other kids' expense is the $389.43 that I spent on my Chase card. Not Chase, on my Carter's card. $25 for the miscellaneous car expense. I am going to cover that with ready to assign. Get rid of one of them. So 7 overspent categories left. The heat and oil for $404.77. I know for sure I'm not going to cover this one. It is what it is. That's going to have to be covered in the month of June because I don't want to deplete the rest of the sinking funds and the emergency fund, so I'm not going to mess with it. Personal spending. At $260 that I spent, I'm going to send $270 out of this money because that was cash money that was spent. So I'm going to send $270 out of the ready to assign money because this money is already spent. Okay, that was cash money that I had in hand that I spent. Okay, so let's see. 50 cents to Chase. I don't know why Chase is asking for 50 cents, but let's go ahead and take it out of ready to assign. Apple Card is asking for $67.78. I'm gonna also put that because, wait, before I do that, let's cover the credit card interest from the Apple Card from ready to assign. Why I'm doing it this way, I do want the credit card interest to go away, and it's gonna put money into the Apple Card category because there is some overspent there. So it comes down to $22.41. $22.41. All right, I'm going to cover this $22.41. I don't know why it's saying $22.41, but let's just cover that so that could go away. The other kids' expense, I can't touch it. I really cannot touch it. So I'm just going to leave it as is. It's on a credit card. Yes, I'm back on the float, but we'll figure that out. But this $191.76 that's left, I'm going to send it down to the personal spending because this was stuff that I spent whether it was to go on vacation or while on vacation. So now I still have 4 overspend category to worry about that are on credit cards. So other kids' expense, I spoke about that, buying kids for the clothes for the kids, the heat and oil, personal spending still have $194.29 to be paid, and the unexpected spending, all of that money that I spent, to get the kids all situated for the vacation. It is what it is. Let's just jump into June. Technically, I'm not supposed to leave any overspend category in the month to go into the new month, but since it's on credit card, it resets. So as you can see here, in June, we only have one overspend category, and that's the credit card interest that I have entered in the month of June. So when I go in and I assign monies for my Capital One card, it will cover this interest. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to cover it. I'm just going to use the minimum payment amount that I'm going to assign. I think my minimum payment is $475. It will more than cover the interest and help us to move forward. So I was on vacation. I didn't leave any checks for hubby to drop off. So I will have to drop the rent check off. Tomorrow's Monday. I'm still in the safe zone for that. I did pay my electric today, so there's 29 cents that's left over. I am going to send this to, let's send that to the subscription. And we're going to snooze this electric category. We won't need it. All right. There's $47.21 in subscriptions right now. There's a few things that needs to come out between now and the time I get paid again. So we're going to leave that amount there. The after school, I will need to pay this $40 to them. And I did mention in my last video that there is a bill, there's a balance on the account that I need to clear up, about $200. So we'll figure that out in the month of June. I still didn't send the amount over for the half of the car payment because I had so much to do with my in-laws being in town than me getting ready for vacation. There was just so much to do. And once I went away, I just kind of just let everything sit. So I will go in and I will pay the half payment for my car and not worry about it. Okay, so let's see. Next up is eating out. I have $6 here. I think I'm going to need that this week. I have $200 for groceries because I did not go grocery shopping before I left. And the money that hubby used to go grocery shopping came out of his personal money. So there's still $200 to use to buy groceries. There's still $50 in household money to spend because I do need to go grocery shopping. And other than that, my student loan probably already hit the account. They probably already processed the payment, but because it's the weekend, it won't hit the account until tomorrow, which is Monday. So I won't worry about that. I do have $29 to pay to my Marcus credit card. That's the minimum payment. I will be calling my insurance tomorrow to see if they have, sent out the check for the reimbursement for the money that was spent at the periodontist. I have $191.76 to send to my Chase card and $29.71 to send to Apple. I will do that tonight before I go to bed. So it is the next day, you guys. I had to go to bed. I had work in the morning. So anyway, I'm going to go in and just finish out. I was telling you guys all the available that I had to pay. I just didn't go in and pay them because the video wasn't finished. So here we are. I do have some money left in the sinking funds. So the true expenses still have some money in there, and the save up still have some money in there. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to jump into the reports. I'm going to just do the monthly closeout for the month of May. So let's just jump into May. We're going to talk about the amount of money that was spent. There won't be a side by side based on what was budgeted. I'm just going to go over the numbers. All right. So in the month of May, in our main focus category, this is it's sitting on top because it's where most of the money was spent. So I'm just going to go over this category first. The big thing that we did, we paid one main $8,853.98. That's the total amount of money that went out to one main. So I sent $1,060 to London Club. It's saying that a credit card interest got $521.89. That's the amount of money that was covered as in credit card interest. This comprised of the amount that was for the interest, but it comes in here as my minimum payments really. Next up is a small amount of $40 to my student loan. So that's the minimum payment that I pay every month. I don't deviate from that. That's going to remain what it is until I pay the loan off. The next category that I spent the second most money in is my variable spending. This one went a little bit crazy. So unexpected spending got the most. This is mostly for the plane tickets and just some knickknacks that I ended up getting. The next up is groceries. So groceries is looking pretty good. I only spent $737.88. I usually budget $1,000 for groceries, and look at this. I came in under. So this is good for the month of May. The only thing is, you know what? And even though I'm going to give myself some grace here. My in-laws was in town. We spent more money than we wanted to, but look, we still came in on the budget. So even though hubby went out and got some stuff while I was away, I'm not counting that. I still only spent $737.88. All right, personal spending, $721.05. This was the money that I used on my birthday, my pedicure, and I got myself some clothes. That was basically the bigger expenses. So I would have done well if I didn't get such an expensive pedicure. But let me tell you, my feet were feeling very good after that, and I'm mad at it, but I'm not really mad at it, if you know what I'm saying. So we're not gonna cry over it. It already happened. Heating oil came out. I knew I had to get heating oil. I didn't know I was going to need it before the month was out. I was hoping to factor it into June's money, but it came out and we had to get some heating oil for the house. Next up is household goods. This kind of went a little bit crazy. I usually try to spend under $200 for household goods. I spent $223, which is not bad. This comprised of a lot of really household stuff. This is what I spent. So I'm not too mad at it. $23 over budget, that's fine. Eating out, I spent $169.73. That's not terrible considering I was entertaining my in-laws for a week. All right. Next up is copay and meds. This is, generally, this is what it would be per month. In the month of May, I had 3 appointments. So $75 is $25 a piece for each of the appointments. So that's not terrible. All right, let's go back and let's look into my babies. No, next up is the monthly bills. So monthly bills, the rent is the biggest one for $2,500. Cell phone $290.11, not bad. I had budgeted for $300. Internet $122.95, just came in right on budget because I budgeted $123. Electric $103.17, that wasn't terrible either because I had budgeted $112. And I think for the month of June, the usage is going to go up because the in-laws were here and they were here for a week. They watched TV all day. They were big into the news, and the lights were on. And generally when we're not home, the lights are out, TVs are off, but because they were here for a week, the electricity kept going. So I'm expecting the month of June. Well, I would say the bill that's coming due, the bill that's going to close out in June is going to be high. I'm expecting that. Subscriptions was 80.85. This is not bad. So I have cut my subscriptions down, all the way down. And I think for the month of June, it's going to go up a little bit, but it's not going to go up terribly. It's going to go up because I'm going to do Ynab for a year, and I'm going to do the debt app for a year. I'm planning on doing those. So it's going to be a little bit higher than normal. All right. Next up is the My Baby section. Babysitter came in at $1,100. So because there was 5 Fridays in May, that was $220 that I had to pay. And this, for the money that I spent for them to go on vacation, as you could see, for the month of June, for the month of July, I won't be spending this much. I will kind of come, break even really, because hubby's tickets and the kids' tickets just run about $1,000, right? Other kids' expenses is clothes and other stuff for the kids. So fun money for my daughter, clothes for the kids, and the field trip, and other small expenses for the kids for the month of May. Child support is the same as always. Braces is the same, $164. After school, I paid $95. So some of this $95 was already budgeted. It was just that they only cashed the checks that were already written from so long ago. All right, next up is transportation. And transportation got its really regular amount except for fuel, because we were out and about with the grandparents for a few days. So $939.23 is the auto loan payment. $371 even, which is the DMV renewal. So I had to renew both car tags, and then the Easy Pass replenished. Next up is fuel, $280.02. This is not terrible. I was trying to stay under 200, or about 200. So knowing that the in-laws were in town, and I keep saying that because, a lot of things that happen with some of the bills, other than what I've spent on myself, this would have stayed lower. And the car insurance is what it is, $265.50. All right, I think that was it, you guys. That's it. So total spent in all categories for the month of May, $21,639.07. So what I really want to do is I want to show you guys income versus expenses. And I'm just going to do for April and May so you could see it side by side. Okay. So the income that we brought in the month of May, because of that 401k loan, I brought in $20,795.13 compared to the month of April for $9,795.84. Rent was the same. As you can see, the electric went down from $110 to $103. Cell phone went down from $299 to $290. Internet, it went up because they did not offer me a credit for the month of May. Subscriptions came about the same, to $79.23 to $80.85. So I spent a total of $3,097.08 in my monthly bills. In the My Baby section, the babysitter came in at the highest because of the 5 Fridays and the other kids' expense. I spent more money on the kids this month. So that's a total of $2,637.97 that I spent on the kids. In the transportation section, I went a little bit higher because our gas was up. So look at this, $132.27 in the month of April compared to $280 in the month of May. The other car expense, which was only $25 in the month of April, roundabout to be $370. But, like I said, I did save for some of the car tags expense. So I'm not complaining about that one. So let me give you the total. Compared to $1,362 in transportation expenses in the month of April, I spent $1,855.75 in the month of May. All right, the variable spending, as you can see, it went down for copay and meds because I didn't have to get any meds in the month of May. I only had to pay the copay for the 3 doctor's appointments. Eating out went a little bit up from the month of April from $123.08 to $169.73. Groceries, $1,005.13 in April, $737.88 in the month of May. Giving, I didn't do anything in the month of May. Heating oil, I guess the prices went down because from $418.10, I paid $404.77. Household goods, $352.54 in the month of April, $323.97 in the month of May. Not bad. Personal spending went crazy. I spoke about that already. Propane, I didn't pay any propane in the month of May. I will have to pay it in the month of June, I believe. And I paid $180.21 in the month of April. Unexpected spending, here we are again. We're rounding out just about the same. I need to cut out this unexpected spending thing. Like, what's going on? I need to cut it out. So this American Airlines flight was my ticket to Jamaica. The periodontist was something that was unexpected, but I needed to do. And this one in the month of May was the tickets for the kids and for hubby to take them to their respective places. So compared to the month of April, $4,018.98 in total variable spending. I only spent $3,572.40 in the month of May. Now in the main focus, everything was on point in the month of April. I paid all my minimum payments. In the month of May, I paid more to One Main because, like I said, I did take out that 401k loan. And I did do the half payment, even payment for Lending Club. So Lending Club got about, $40, just about 30 something dollars extra. And my credit card interest went up. So from $474.91 to $521.89 in the month of May. I need to cut down my credit card spending. I really do, because I don't need this amount to be creeping up any higher. So total expenses, month of April was $12,191.85, and in the month of May, I spent $21,639.07. So my net income was much lower. I was over by $2,396 and a penny in the month of April, and in the month of May, I was only over by $843.94. So going forward, I'm going to see if for the month of June, I can keep everything in check, because I need to keep it on a good level. So you guys, that's what it is. This is me, resetting from the month of March. This is me resetting from the month of May into the month of June. I have covered most of the overspending that I could. Some of it I couldn't, but because it is on credit cards, it has reset for the month of June, and we're just going to work from there forward. So I am hoping, I'm praying, I am going to work hard enough to keep my spending to a minimum. I'm hoping. I may have a little bit of stuff to spend in the month of June, but I don't think it's going to be crazy as it is in the month of May. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that red subscribe button. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead. Don't be scared. I appreciate you guys. Please don't forget to comment and hit that like button. I would love to chit chat with you. But until next time, bye now. Bye, man.